It was veteran Don Prudhomme in the far lane against Nitro newcomer Don Gay in the near lane. As they left the line, both cars smoked the tires, but Don Gay stayed in it. The car veered violently left and hit the wall hard enough to knock Gay unconscious. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, a fire started under the body and began to burn uncontrollably. Sheer momentum propelled the car into the other lane and into the opposite guardrail. A helpless Don Gay was trapped in a fiberglass inferno, unable to pull the lever to actuate the onboard fire extinguishers. Then something happened that I have never seen before in all my years of covering drag racing. One of the fire bottles exploded, shattering the front end of the car and actually intensifying the flames. As always, the safety support was on the scene quickly and had the blaze under control within seconds. Then, in an act of courage and heroism, Don Prudhomme, still dressed in fire suit and helmet, plunged into the fray to help free a fellow racer from what could easily be described as a life or death situation. Even though the fire had been extinguished, the metal parts of the car, including the seatbelt harness and roll cage, were still very hot. And Prudhomme's quick thinking made a big difference when seconds counted. Then it was up to NHRA paramedic Ronnie Davis to revive the still unconscious Don Gay, whose immediate problem was smoke inhalation and respiratory failure. In replay, we see that Don Gay in the near lane smoked the tires right from the green light. As he tried to pedal the car to stay in the run, there was just too much power being put to the ground, and the car veered left, filling Don's windshield with guardrail. The resulting collision knocked Gay unconscious and ripped the exhaust headers away from the engine, releasing heat and flame that ignited the fiberglass body. It didn't take long for the flames to begin to burn uncontrollably. And with Don Gay helpless to trigger the fire extinguishers, matters could only get worse. And get worse they did. Flames lapped at his face and body. Even though he wore full fire protection, temperatures inside his fire suit would soon rise to a point where the sweat on his skin would literally boil, and smoke would begin to penetrate the breather mask in his helmet. Then, with the car finally rolling to a stop, one of the still pressurized onboard fire bottles could no longer take the heat and burst with a force that ripped the fiberglass body to shreds. And the body, through all of this, lost integrity completely. It could not be lifted up as you normally would. It had to be ripped off the car. Prudhomme, having experienced situations like this, knew instinctively what had to be done and did it.
Now, other than being on fire yourself, there's nothing more frightening than seeing a fellow competitor having that particular problem. You were the first one there.
Well, especially with Donnie Gay, you know, he's a young kid and he just started doing this business, and I know what it's like, you know, and you just got to try and keep your cool. And when we got to him, he was completely out, and I've been in several of these myself, as you know, and you know, he just needed to take it easy, you know. With NHRA and their safety safari and everybody here, they just do a great job. I mean, if it wasn't for them, you know, to bring him back around, because he was completely out, I don't know if he'd have made it.
Well, I'm sure they thank you for your help.
Well, anything we could do, especially a kid like that.
And Don Prudhomme would be quick to tell you that any funny car driver, dressed for the occasion as it was, would not have hesitated to jump in to the fire. Stationed just a few yards away from the flaming wreckage was the Flight for Life helicopter out of St. Anthony's Hospital. Don Gay Jr. was then choppered to the facility in downtown Denver. And what had been one of the strongest funny cars in drag racing was turned into an ashen heap.
We are very happy to report that as of this morning, Don Gay Jr. has been declared out of danger and is expected to make a